Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex coming back in today with a brand new HexCast. I know it's been a while. It's been a minute. I'm not going to lie. I know it's been a second, and I'm actually excited to be doing this again. I was taking care of some other stuff. Yes, I know I had all winter break and I wasn't doing shit, but stuff happens. But the topic today is going to be about the Rising the Shield Hero controversy. So to start off this cast, I just want to say, I'm going to name off some anime. I'm going to name off quite a few anime, and it's going to correlate to what we're talking about today. Hellsing, Berserk, Black Lagoon, Sword Art Online, Elfen Lied, Devilman Crybaby, and shows like Killing Bites, and many others. And Cross Ange. All those shows that I just listed came before Rising of the Shield Hero. I want you to think about that. They all came before. And all those shows had an act of sexual abuse, violence, whatever it may be. They all had that in them. So, whenever we look at Sword Art Online, people, you know what people said about Season 1 at the end of the ALO arc? They said, that's trash. What a cheap way to write that. What a cheap way to write that. Well, that's trash. That was back in like 2012. What a cheap way. What a cop-out way to write that. And then people come 6 years later, and Rising the Shield Hero, they don't even have the act performed of sexual assault, but yet they're getting the SJWs are just eating it alive or attempting to. They're degrading it. They had a false accusation of it. That's what the narrative did. And what that's the route the narrative took. That's the route that the story took. Sword Art Online had it in it. It had it in it. And all you guys could say then was, wow, what a cheap way to write that. What a cop-out way to write that. That's amazing, guys. In Black Lagoon, a show people consider classic. What'd you guys say then? You praised it. You praised it. You said, this show's awesome. This show's a classic. I can't wait for the next season. What are your values? I see what your choices are. Your choices are, if I like it, it's acceptable. If it puts the act in there before I can like the show, it's unacceptable. If it's there before I like it, it's unacceptable. But if it's there after I like it, it's good to go. That's what you're showcasing. That's what you're showcasing. I'm not just attacking you. I'm not just attacking you. No. Don't try to twist my words and say, oh, he's for it. He's for it now. I'm not for it. I'm for a good narrative. I'm for things to be considered equal. I mean, those sexual scenes don't equate to, oh, we support those sexual acts. No, it's part of the narrative. It's supposed to get you emotionally involved. How don't you see that? How don't you see that? Obviously, you must not be seeing a lot of things, because, once again, Berserk is loved. But Berserk's a classic. Everyone wants the anime to get adapted straight out of the source material. And matter of fact, I've never seen someone say, no, I don't want that adapted. So what's wrong with Rising the Shield Hero? What's wrong with Goblin Slayer? Well, how come it can't go that route? How come it can't have a little bit of that in it? Rising of the Shield Hero, it was the most vanilla out of all these shows that had it in it, too. And you guys are throwing a fit. That makes no sense. And did you realize that you throwing, whenever you throw a fit, if it's something that's very vanilla, if the argument isn't very strong, if what you're saying isn't, overwhelmingly strong within that anime, you know what you're doing for it? You're giving it popularity. the popularity of Resident Shield Hero wouldn't even be as high as it is right now, which is extremely popular. And don't get me wrong, it would have been extremely popular regardless. But you made it even more popular. You made it even more popular. Oh, man. That's why some businesses actually, they love controversy. They love it. As long as it's not too strong. And as long as it can't be proved. Because it brings more business in. More traffic. You guys just fueled the popularity of a show you're trying to degrade. And I just find it so funny. I find it so funny. A show that comes out about 4 months before, you know, Goblin Slayer and Resident Shield Hero, Devilman Crybaby. No one said a word. They praised it. They praised it. What? I don't get it. What angle are you guys taking? Like, what angle are you guys taking? You know, I could even go into Goblin Slayer really quick a little bit. Let's go into Goblin Slayer really quick. Goblin Slayer was something that went all the way. It was as uncensored as you can probably get for anime, unless you buy the Blu-ray disc. And then you can get a little bit more uncensored there. But, you know, I can understand someone said that wasn't for me. Someone saying the show should be trash, so on and so forth, wouldn't make sense. You know, Goblin Slayer told you kind of, they implied kind of what happened in the series, right? It's called Goblin Slayer. The main character wants to only kill goblins because of the things they do. How don't you guys, don't you see that they're trying to set up the atmosphere of the show? Don't you? So it can't. So what do you want a story to be? Does every story have to be very vanilla? Does it have to be soft? I mean, does every story have to be a My Hero Academia, a Black Clover, a fairy tale? Does it have to be, does it have to be a One Piece? Does it have to be all those kind of shows? Does it have to be dark? Yes, but not, just can't go any further than dark-esque? Because all those shows have dark-esque moments in them. It doesn't make sense. You're inconsistent. Your arguments aren't even valid. Because you're the same people that watched Sword Art Online, Hellsing, Berserk, Devilman Crybaby, Black Lagoon, which you hold as a classic, Batum even. You all watch those shows. You all watch those shows. Unbelievable. I mean, I saw some people talk about, well, they're advertising it hard. Okay. Cool. So if a show's not being advertised heavy, does that make it okay? Is it okay if it's not advertised heavy? What? I don't get what your angle is here. I don't understand. So we have a show with all girls in it. The 7 Mortal Sins came out by Team K, I believe, in the spring of this past year, 2018. Okay. Is it because it's all girls? Is girl on girl, it's okay? I don't, what's your angle? Where are you coming from? Because you're contradicting yourself. You're making it even sound sexist in a way. 7 Mortal Sins is okay, it's all girls. But it's a guy and a girl in other shows. Not okay. Can't do that. What's your angle? I'm confused. I'm so confused because it's nothing but pure contradiction. And there's no way around that. Hey, come at me. Swing at me. Swing as hard as you can in the comments. I don't care. I mean, you can't say my argument's wrong. You can't say it. Maybe you were one of those few people that were always like this. Okay. But don't sit here and say 90% of you, 95% of you aren't. Don't say 95%, don't give me that, because that's bullshit. Don't give me that. Because 90 to 95% of you guys, we're all about SAO. We're all about Berserk. We're all about Cross-Ange. And maybe you weren't even, but you didn't open your mouth, so that's just as bad. Don't hop on the train now. Don't hop on the train now. Nope. It's too late. You can't. Don't hop on the train now. It's too late to do that. It's just too late. You gotta make yourself look even worse than you already do. What about these shows? Tell me. I want to know this. What about these shows makes you say to yourself, they support that? Like, do you ever look into the writing and say, oh, they did that to add emotional value. Oh, they did that to make this, to make us really understand this character, to understand what she's been through and why she's going in the direction she is for characterization. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, it sucks that the character had to go through that. But it's part of the emotional value. Don't you understand that? I mean, if you have character, these things happen to a character in a story every other episode, then that's different. Unless the main concept of the show literally is that. If you can't justify why they did it, then maybe you should have a problem. But if you can, then you shouldn't. Rising to shoot here. Why do they do it? Well, let's see. To make the character turn his back on the rest of the world and add the anti-hero to his character. To add the antagonist tag to his character. Why did Goblin Slayer do it? I said this once. Were you paying attention, or were you just letting things go in one ear, in one ear, out the other? They did it to add to the atmosphere, to show you that goblins aren't just little 2 feet tall, non-threatening creatures. They did it for the atmosphere. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. What's the next? Are you gonna say ReZero? It just just kills off Subaru and his time loop ability just to showcase that killing's okay? I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I mean, I've seen it all, man. I've literally seen it all. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I'm going to pull up an article here and see if I can. I just want to make a point here. So this article says 7 series that excuse sexual harassment as romance. They excuse it. Okay. So let's see what they're saying here. So we have Okane Gane, we have Diabolical Lovers, Strawberry Picnic, Juna Romantic, Shino Shimoneta or Neta. See, that right there to me, I mean, it's the most soft, light core-ass vanilla sexual harassment I've ever seen. And immediately the show was clearly showcasing it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be so cringy at times. It's so vanilla. I don't get it. Like, people are so soft. You just can't do anything these days, man. Why is DxD? Well, why is High School DxD not hated on? People love it. People eat it up. But I never seen anyone bitching about that. What's your guys' angle? Why is it one to skip a few? Why is it if the story makes you like it before it does something you dislike, it's okay. But if they do it too soon for you, it's not. I'll criticize if it happens in episode 20 maybe. Maybe I'll say I dislike it, but I'll continue saying the show is good. But if it happens before I like it, if it happens too early, if it does, even if it's for a valid reason to set up the show, set up the atmosphere, set up the character, give the character characterization and future character development, it's not okay. It's not. Make up your mind. Make it like you can't have your cake and eat it too. Can't be on both sides. You can't say I support this, but yet you're still watching things that go against what you support. You can't do that. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You're making yourself and everyone else around you that quote-unquote, very big quotations in the air, supports what you do. At least, I'm not really sure you support because you never said anything about Devilman Crybaby, SAO. You never said anything about High School DxD. You never said anything about Cross-Ange. You never said anything about Killing Bites that came out this year, along with Devilman Crybaby. You never said a damn thing. So why are you saying something now? Make up your mind. And at the same time, you're not making sense. I guess you can't make up your mind if you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, whatever episode of the HexCast this is. You guys have been hexed. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.